Good Good morning, America. Welcome to Scott and a Shot. Good morning. I hope you're having a great Sunday morning. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee right now. I'm watching on Fox News Howie Kurtz, and I never liked Howie Kurtz. He likes going on TV and likes spouting a lot of crap, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about here. It makes me go, "Wow, stop it." You know, I don't always have to like what Donald Trump says and how he says things, but at least you know what you're getting with this man. I mean, that's why I love Donald Trump. You know, you're getting how he truly feels. Do I like everything that Donald Trump is saying about Zelensky and the Ukraine? No, but at least you know how he truly feels. For 4 years now, and when Donald Trump was in president this last time, all we got was the end of democracy, the end of the world, toxic males, transgenders are good, all this crazy stuff. And so I think Donald Trump's his talk, and sometimes even when he makes me mad, I think he should shut up. I mean, it's still a breath of fresh air because it's you know how he truly feels about things. When have you ever gotten that from the Democratic Party? I mean, Howie Kurtz gets on TV and he talks about people bitching and whining about the people being laid off, and how he's talking about Zelensky and how these people are being, the firings all over the federal government. Well, you know what? I love it. You know why? Because you know exactly what's going on. And when like I said, when it comes to Donald Trump talking, you know exactly what he means because he says what he means. And maybe the Democrats a couple points may be legit, but how would you really know if they're honest about it? Because all we ever hear is them lie. Just like they lied about Joe Biden for 4 years about his mental competency. I mean, they lie about everything that comes out of their mouth, and especially about Donald Trump. Yeah, like I said, how can you trust a party and they're out and when they're mad about something and they're whining, even if they have a legitimate point? When they had the Russia hoax, a 100% fabricated lie by the Democratic Party. Nobody ever wants to really talk about that in detail anymore. That is what really happened. A lie that I had to listen to for 4 years about a man that I voted for. I mean, tried to get him impeached from the very first day he took the oath of office in 2016. I mean, so it's really hard to understand or to want to hear anything these Democrats say or anything that the legacy media has to say, because everything they've ever said is a lie. It's the end of democracy. Donald Trump's Hitler, because they don't like one little thing that he does. So people remember that, especially for the last 4 years. All we've ever heard, I mean, they stifled our free speech on X. They lied about Intel agents and the Hunter laptop. I mean, they lie about everything. They literally lie about everything. So how do you even know if when they're saying when they say that they're mad about something, are they really mad? Who knows? I mean, because they've already proven that they are 100% liars. And it seems like all their outrage is always for the wrong reasons. It's always against the American person, unless you're a transgender or a DEI candidate. I mean, that's how I see things. I mean, if they had a legitimate point and they were talking more truthful, sometimes I'm not gonna lie. There's some points that Democrats make that, if they were honest, if I could trust them for being honest, that I would agree with. But I don't, because I don't trust them. I don't trust them ever again, because I've never seen such corruption in a government. I've never seen so much corruption in a party. I mean, it's like everybody forgets how Joe Biden said a little incursion wouldn't be that bad over into Ukraine. Well, Joe Biden is 100% responsible for what happened to Ukraine, but Zelensky doesn't. I mean, and and he was in cahoots with Zelensky and the Ukrainian government when it came to the Russia hoax. I mean, that is where that whole dossier about the Russia hoax and all that started, was in the Ukraine. I mean, so I don't feel sad for Ukraine. Ukraine is not our ally. What have they ever done for us for them to call us an ally? Have they ever supported us in war? I don't think so. I mean, back in World War II and all that, they were part of Russia, weren't they? I'm not sure about that, but that's how I see things. I mean, people, you can't let this fake outrage from the only reason why the Democratic Party is having an outrage right now, and why they're having a fit, is because they didn't get their way. And their ways perverted and weird against the American values, as far as I'm concerned. And so that's what I got to say. How do you really know what's going on when it comes to them talking shit? Because everything they talk is shit and it's a lie. And so when I watch Howie Kurtz, and he's always, he tries to hide it, but he don't like Donald Trump. And I get that. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump. They don't like the truth. If the truth hurts, I don't know what to tell you. And some people in government are going to get fired because Donald Trump's cleaning house. And I think I don't feel sad for these people. A lot of people lose their jobs every day. These people don't get a government job. It's like they're talking on. It's not tenure for life. They don't get to stay there for life, no matter what. I mean, if you can't show up to the job site every day, you shouldn't have a job. That's how I got to look at it. When I used to like to work. I used to like to go to work because it gets me away from my kids. You can love your kids, but it doesn't mean you don't need a break. So these people that stay at home all the time, I don't know how they do it. I used to go. So here's I guess the whole thing I'm trying to say is, why wouldn't you want to go to work? If you're some lazy ass that can't even get up off their ass to go to work, how well do you think they're doing at their house? Doing their job. They don't even want to get up and go to work no more. They're too afraid of the world. They're afraid of COVID. They're afraid of catching the flu. They're just afraid. And you can't have people working in our government that are afraid to even show up for work. Don't you think? That's just my opinion. Let's talk about the two-state solution they want to talk about again. The Democrats always want to talk about a two-state solution for the Palestinian people. I'm going to say this plain and simple. F the Palestinian people. You see them? Have you seen the real clips of them taking these dead bodies of these hostages, parading them past all their people, and they're all out there partying. They got their little flags out. It's a big old party to them. Watch them bring out a bunch of dead hostages, children, women. I don't care three shits about the Palestinian people's plight in life. Their plight is their own fault because they're a bunch of terrorists. The women are terrorists, and half those people that were in those parades are kids. They're taught from birth to hate America, to hate Israel, and to kill us when they get old enough to do it. So do I care about any of them? No, I do not. I don't care about them. And it's not my fault I don't care about them. They're the ones that make me not care about them, because all they are is a population of people that live on hate. And how many decades and how many hundreds of years are the Palestinians going to whine about the Israelis before they just grow up and move on? Move on. You don't have the Gaza Strip was given to you and it still wasn't good enough. And then they let you govern yourself. And what do? You sit there and elect Hamas. A terrorist organization. Just like in Mexico. Mexico is ran by the cartels. And we're sitting there praising Mexico, these Democrats. Mexico is a third world country, and they should be held accountable for allowing these cartels to take over their government. They are a corrupt government, people, and that is what's going on. And but if you bring it out, if you say something about it, then you're the bad. I'm a racist. I'm this. No. I'm a realist. I see what's really going on in the world. It's not that hard to see things, people, if you open up your eyes. Even people that are blind, if they hear the truth, they can hear it if they want to hear the truth. The Democratic Party is so perverted anymore. I could never be a Democrat ever again. And I honestly don't know how anybody can vote Democratic. I'm not live and let live, but when you throw it in our face like they've done this transgender thing, stifling Israel from doing their job. What would America do if somebody came into our country and killed over 1,000 people and took a bunch of hostages? We would annihilate them. But the Democratic Party stopped Israel from doing that. People, war's not pretty. It never has been. People die in war. I never seen so many people in uproar when we were dropping bombs indiscriminately during World War II to try to take out our enemy. Because believe it or not, people, a lot of these civilians that are in these countries that we've went to war with are 100% for their government doing what they did to get themselves annihilated. That's why people, we just need to, if we change our way of thinking, if we go to reciprocal trade deals and if everybody starts treating people with respect and forgetting about the past and looking towards the future, then we will succeed. But everybody's always living in the past. And the past always comes back up, and there's another war over the past. What part of the past is the past? You know what I'm saying? I had two parents that died. They're gone. I love them. I cherish them. But I don't sit there dwelling on the things that they did that they did when I was a kid or when I was growing up that I didn't like as a child because I was a child and I didn't have the right to like it. I had the right to do what I was told to do if it was done in the right manner without being any child abuse, which there's no child abuse in my family. It's like when I used to talk back to my mother. Me and my brother lived in Los Angeles. We were two little boys living in the ghetto of Los Angeles. I pop off to my mom a couple of times, and she'd pop me in my mouth. I mean, she smacked me straight in my face, in my mouth, chipped my front teeth twice. Did I sit there and cry child abuse? No, because when I was listening to my mother, when she was, I mean, you don't talk back to your mom. I never thought anything bad about it because there was nothing to think bad about it. You listen to your parents; they're trying to teach you something, and that's what it is right there. So, I mean, the Democrats are the ones who got smacked one time when they were growing up, and they can't get over it. Oh my God, my parents are so horrible. I mean, stop it. We can't raise our kids no more. Look at what this government's done to us. They've taken away the rights to discipline your children if it's done the right way. I mean, my daughter's having a problem right now with her daughter, my granddaughter. And she mentioned it at the school one time, and the school stepped out of their bounds, and they're sending her to a therapist. That is not the school's job. My daughter is not abusive, and the bottom line is my granddaughter wants to sneak out of the house and do what she wants to do. Well, she's 12 years old. That's not acceptable. So she gets caught, she gets yelled at, she gets grounded, gets her little cell phone taken away, and now they're sending her to a therapist. I mean, come on, people. That's what I'm talking about. And this is California because you know it's a Democratic school. So my daughter's trying to get my granddaughter changed into a different school, but that's what we're dealing with here, people. The Democrats have taken our rights away from day one to the last 30 years. They don't want us to even be able to raise our own kids in a manner we see fit. They think they can go to school and teach them about transgenderism and are you okay with your sex that you are? I mean, you know what? I'm so tired of that kind of stuff. What part of that is so against nature? Don't people understand? So if we can't come to terms with what's real and what's not real, people, then I mean, I hope you people can understand that what Donald Trump's doing, it had to happen. He has to be as harsh as he is right now because since he walked down that escalator in 2016, man, this Democratic Party really took a turn for the worse. And I've been hearing their crap for so many years now, and I love the pushback because no other Republican had the balls to do the pushback like Donald Trump's doing. I like seeing somebody that's on my side of the fence push back as hard as the Democrats have been pushing for years now with their corruption, their lies. I mean, come on, people. They lied about Joe Biden's mental acuity for 4 years. They straight up said he's the man. He's all there. He can run circles around me. When a party is so corrupt that they can get on TV and lie about something that is so obvious, I mean, that tells you all you need to know about the Democratic Party. I mean, they think you, me, and all of us are just a dumbass rock on the ground with no opinion and no self-thinking of our own. And you need to remember that, people. You all have a brain. Use it. Think. Decipher things. Figure it out like a mathematical equation if you know how to do math anymore. I mean, and make your own decision. Don't let somebody get you all riled up. Not even me. I'm not trying to get nobody riled up. I'm trying to tell the truth. I mean, I don't anybody get riled up on what I'm talking about. Just listen. And if you don't agree with me, then don't listen. Don't watch me. Nobody's watching me anyway, but I'm still venting because that's what America's about. I have the right to get on this podcast and talk my shit and try to get my frustrations out. But remember, people, the Democratic Party is not your friend unless you're a transgender, a homosexual, and I shouldn't even say transgender because that's not even a real thing. Transgender is a word that makes it nicer to say that you're self-mutilating your body. A woman cannot become a man. A man can't become a woman. A man will never be able to have a baby. I mean, when the day happens that it can, I don't want to be here. I mean, we've taken things too far. Our government is supposed to be there to protect us, make trade deals, and stuff like that. They're not supposed to be trying to solve the problems of a certain faction of our population. 1% of people think that transgender stuff, and from the studies that I've seen, it comes from broken up families. A lot of things happen to kids, people, when parents get married and they have kids and they can't seem to work it out. I mean, it's not, me and my wife had a lot of trials when we first got together. But we've been together for a long, long time now. But if I would have just divorced her, or if she would have divorced me back when we were younger, we would have missed out on a big happy life. Because since then, me and my wife we've really come to terms. You know what I mean? I've came around. I'm a toxic man. I mean, it took me a long time to really realize that I got married and I've settled down. And I wasn't the best husband at first, but I've tried to be the best husband in the world now. I love my wife with all my heart. And like I said, it all comes around, people. But we can't. People need to start falling in love and trying to work through the bad times, because for the most of the time, it's going to be greener on the other side if you just stick with it. But that requires change in both sides. You know, you have to grow. It's called growing up. It's called not living in the past. When I got with my wife, I was still living in the past about my first wife, and I finally realized, man, she's been gone forever. I mean, just stop it, Scott. And I wouldn't trade my new wife for my ex-wife for no way, no how. I mean, she is so beautiful. And it took me a long time to see that, people. So I'm trying to tell you, people, that they get divorced so easily when you have children, to try to work it out. Try to keep the fighting, away from the children, and go outside, take a deep breath, and admit that if you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I mean? And try to stay together for our kids, because you're seeing how fucked up they're getting out of so many houses, so many families in our country being broken. I mean, that's what I see a lot, and it happens with all communities. But the division that they keep trying to keep between white and the black people, man, black people, wake up, people, please, because stay with your kids, stay together if you have kids, and realize that slavery and all that, it's over with. It's been over with. My family left England, and they're Irish. They left Europe many decades, a couple hundred years ago, to get away from that kind of slavery, and it all works out. But you can't live in the past, people. You got everybody wanting you to live in the past and stay in that kind of mind frame, and that's the Democratic Party. The party of slavery is trying to keep you a slave. I mean, just remember that. I mean, people need to stay with their families. I mean, I come from a broken family too, I've always wished it wouldn't have happened, but it happened. But I had two great step parents, and it all ended up working out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't know, people. We're losing our sense of identity. We're losing our sense of family. We're losing our sense of religion. I mean, we have to keep going forward. Stop looking into the past, and stop listening to these Democrats, because all the outrage I'm seeing are from the same people that called Russia, Russia, Russia on Donald Trump during 2016. Everything's crazy with these people. So anyway, this is Scott, just talking shit this morning. I mean, every time I turn on the TV, it's like my birthday. Watching these Democrats' mind blow up, because for 4 years, when Donald Trump first got elected, for 4 years after they cheated on the last election, I had to listen to Joe Biden's crazy, incoherent blabbering, and every other Democrat was right alongside with him, because they're all tarded, and they just don't get it. So I'm enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying yourself. But let's all live in the future and stop living in the past, and let's move on from Donald Trump being the end of democracy. He's Hitler. All these bad things they've been saying. I mean, they've been screaming this crazy stuff for years, and Donald Trump gets in and pushes back, a lot, and now they're whining, they're crying. They don't like the pushback. They don't want to hear your opinion. They don't care. That's why they're catching them over in Europe. Our allies, stifling free speech there, stifling religion, stifling a lot of things over there. You know why? Because they're following the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. They're following the Democratic Party. So the whole Democratic Party and all the Democratic parties that are overseas are all trying to stifle our religion, our free speech, our free thought, our free expression. I mean, and that's the only thing that makes us greater than these other countries, people. It's the only thing it ever has, is that we have the right to do what I'm doing right now, and thank God for that, because I love getting on here and venting, and I hope that's why there's so many podcasts now. I mean, it's not a lot of people trying to get rich or anything like that. It's just people that are fed up, and they're not hearing what they want to hear from the media, because they're all corrupt except for Fox. And Fox isn't perfect, but it's so much more perfect than the rest of them. I mean, I can't watch CNN without puking. I can't watch CNN without puking. I can't watch MSNBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC. I can't watch none of them without puking, because all they've been doing for the last 10 years is Donald Trump's the devil. Donald Trump's the devil. Donald Trump's the devil. He's Hitler. He's Hitler. For even the things that are so bipartisan that they just don't want to see us win on anything. I mean, and now we're winning, and they can't take it, and I love it. I hope you love it too. Stay strong. Long live Donald Trump. God bless America. And you guys have a great day.